Welcome to Remnant 101 of the City on a Hill Church. I'm Associate Pastor Benji Lalayan. God's remnant does not trust in their own physical senses. I have one group of verses that I want to read in 2 Kings chapter 6, beginning in verse 8. This is during the time of Elisha the prophet. It says, "Now the king of Syria was making war against Israel, and he took counsel with his servants, saying, 'My camp will be in such and such a place.' The man of God sent to the king of Israel, saying, 'Beware that you do not pass this place, for the Syrians are coming down there.'" Let's go down to verse 15. It says, when the servant of the man of God arose early and went out, there was an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots. And his servant said to him, 'Alas, my master, what shall we do?' So he answered, 'Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them.' Elisha prayed and said, 'Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see.' And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha." And this passage, during the time of Elisha the prophet, is a major indication of how what we see within the physical with our own sense of sight is different from what God is doing within the spiritual. How that affects us depends on our faith in God. The king of Syria sent a great army to capture Elisha, but he feared not. His servant looked and saw the army and feared for his master, but Elisha asked God to open his eyes, which revealed many chariots of fire and horses surrounding him and Elisha. Elisha believed in the protection he was receiving from the Lord, despite the fact that the normal sense of sight could not perceive it. Our faith in God means we must trust in him when our senses say otherwise. What we see, what we feel, what we hear, and so on. Basically, our five senses. 2 Corinthians tells us that the seen is temporary, but the unseen is eternal. Not only are your physical senses making you trust in things that are temporary and worldly, but we so easily let them distract us from what is unseen and of the Lord, that even when we know about the Spirit of the living God, the devil will very sneakily make what's right in front of our eyes or ears seem so big to keep our focus on the physical. This is another area where, once again, faith is hard. Faith doesn't trust in the five senses. If you want to reap the benefits of the remnant of God, you're going to have to exercise your faith. Don't let it stagnate. Even in little things like work or home or exercise or whatever, let your faith drive you to keep your senses from distracting you from trusting in God, which includes always thanking and revering him, and of course, praying to him, not as a last resort, just out of pure faith. God bless you.